one of the things I learned about myself was if it's too complicated, I tend to mess up. And it took me forever to learn that all you need to do was understand the charts. Because initially I always felt like the markets are out to get me. Anything I put in fails. But once I understood that they're not out to get me, you just need to know what the big traders are doing and then get into it. And that's something I look for. So I look for order blocks specifically, and that's where I take my trades from. My name is Alexander Wankwo. I was born and raised in Nigeria. I came to Canada for schooling, and I have a degree in statistics. I've been here since 2009, so that's over getting to 14 years now since I've been in Canada. I'm a father. I have 4 kids here with me, and it's been a journey since I left my country. And
that's amazing. And now you're here as a funded trader of Trader Pool, so that's also incredible. Tell me a little bit about your background in trading. When did you start?
I got the idea in 2018 that I think I would love to trade. And that had to do with when we had our son, when he was 4, he was diagnosed with autism. And they were asking that one of us, my wife or myself, would be at home. Back then, working from home was not a thing. And, so I decided to look up for something that I can do from home. And I saw trading and I got interested in it. And I first started learning how to trade with Bareboat Traders. This was in 2019. Andrew Aziz. I was their mentor. I think he's resident in Canada as well. Yes. And that's where I started. It started with chart patterns, candlestick patterns, and all the indicators. And it was a bit challenging, the first trading firm, because I was looking for something to extract right away. I think I did it with CME Group. There's a group in the Bahamas, and that was where I had my first account. And I moved my account from there to the Interactive Brokers that are here in Canada. And that's the brokers that I've been with, and before I joined Trader Pool.
Nice. So like many, as you said, COVID time, started to trade there, maybe a little bit before that. And if we're talking about trading, do you mostly do swing trading or day trading?
I do day trading.
Okay. I do trading, mostly on equities?
Yes, I do stock trading. I never tried any other. I heard, what is it called? The Forex market. I had people say it was a bit manipulated, but it was better because once it's moving, it's moving. However, I didn't like the idea that it was, some persons had a hand in it. It's not like the stock market is any different, but I think it's more difficult for individuals to. I mean, I know the pump and dump stocks, the penny stocks, and all that stuff. But so far, I think I decided to go with trading because if I fail, I want to know that it's coming from me.
Nice. And tell us a little bit about your trading style. What do you look for? How do you trade? How you find your edge?
I was into chart patterns, technical indicators, and one of the things I learned about myself was if it's too complicated, I tend to mess up. I tend to screw up. And I've blown up several accounts, and it took me forever to learn that all you need to do was understand the charts. And that fear I had from the beginning that these charts are too complicated, I would need something to help me out. And I've always looked for help, like indicators, and it turned out that has been my problem all through. And so when I focused on just the chart patterns, just chart itself, understand what's going on, forget about trading for now. Just understand what price action is doing, and that's where it changed for me. And so when I go online, and the concept that the smart money concept that the big institutions are the ones that tend to move the market. That also helped me, because initially I always felt like the markets are out to get me. Anything I put in fails. But once I understood that they're not out to get me, you just need to know what the big traders are doing and then get into it. I look for indicators on the chart that shows me that the big institutions are in there and they're actively or aggressively involved in the market that day. And that's something I look for. So I look for order blocks specifically, and that's where I take my trades from.
Nice, nice. So I love what you're saying, because this is exactly what I love to hear and do myself, in trading. It's just finding the pattern, understanding the price section, understanding the institutional traders, the way they behave, the way they react. And once you understand that, you don't really need indicators like RSI or MACD or whatever. You just focused on the price, because every indicator, and this is something that I talked about also in webinars and so on, all the indicators, MACD, RSI, ADX, all of those, VWAP, they are just being calculated from the chart, right? Being calculated from the price or the volume. And once you understand the price and the volume, you don't really need the indicators. Or if you use them, you use them just for another checkbox in your list, but not as the main leader of decision making.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's amazing that you're saying that.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
yeah, everyone. So let's talk a little bit about the very interesting. You mentioned order blocks. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell me, how does it work? I mean, what are you looking for, guys that listening right now at home? They're saying, okay, price section, I get that, but what exactly does it mean? What do you do?
So order blocks is just what it means. It means that there are blocks of orders there. Most people read the tape. I've heard people say, we read the tape, and sometimes that also can be very, very, difficult to do. Try to read the tape. On the charts, order blocks are like the tapes that you read, and you're looking at it because there are either orders there that are waiting to that maybe price moved out from there pretty quickly, and it's going to come back to that order block to pick up those prices. Those are orders that are there that are waiting to be filled in there. And so that's what you're waiting for, and you wait for certain things, confirmations like maybe fair value gap, for instance, that is showing that the strength of the movement, how price left that area. Other blocks simply would be demand zones, if you want to look at it at large, and supply zones. But narrow it down in a way, because that's the way I learned. I did the demand and supply zone thing, and while it's the same with order block, it was really, really complicating for me. I really like to look at something specific, most especially if you're trading with Trade the Pool, where your risk management has been, identified already. So you really have a limited amount of room to work with. So you need to be specific in your entry and you're taking out. So order blocks are those as a candlestick specifically that shows you what price did last before it left a certain demand zone or supply zone.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. And this is the way the market works, right? That then move from another liquidity level to another one and so on. And once you really understand that and mark the main levels, the main areas where the price will try to like magnet, move toward that, then you can actually build your scenarios and start building the setup that you want to take and trade. So that's super great. Now, Alexander, you've been trading the mini buying power. That's the $20,000 of buying power.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the experience between trading. You said you have an account with Interactive Brokers and you have the funded account right now with us. Yeah. What's the difference of trading your own personal money compared to trading someone else's money? Let's talk about that.
What I learned from both sides is that we tend to sabotage ourselves. I think when it involves someone else, we try to put more effort, which it should be the other way around. It should be that when it has to do with you, you should take your own things seriously. But what we see in trading is if it's your own money, if it's your own account, you tend to break your rules. You tend to, go trade trades that are not in your setup because you feel like it's my money. I can lose it. I can play with it. But when you know that it's someone else's and, you're accountable for that just as much as you're accountable for yours, but no consequences when it comes to yours. But when it's with someone else, for sure, you would go ahead and follow the rules. And my Interactive Broking account was money, including my wife's inheritance money.
Wow.
It was over $60,000, close to $70,000. And slowly but surely, one mistake after another, I blew up that account.
Wow.
And once I knew that, and if you are married, that your wife must get their money back. So she has been on my neck. So I decided to look for a way out. And people started to say, why did you use your money? I think your personality is, you feel like if there's no one watching you, you can go outside and do your own thing. And they said the best thing for a person like you with your characteristics and all that stuff, you're sabotaging yourself. But go to Trade the Pool, they trade stocks, go there. It's a prop firm. They would make sure you follow the rules, because if you don't follow the rules, you don't pass the challenge. And throughout when I blew up about 4 or 5 accounts with Trade the Pool. I had it set up. I had everything before I came in. But I had to work on my psychology and myself and my discipline. And I think that was the difference, that, I was accountable to somebody, not just to myself. Yeah.
That's nice. That's great to hear. And also, as you mentioned, you had few attempts before until passing the evaluation. And that's also great. A lot of the guys need this, just to trade a little bit more time, just to understand more the risk parameters or get used to that, not understand it, but get used to that, fine tune your strategy to fit the risk parameters. Alexander, that was amazing. I'm sure the guys that will listen to it will have questions. You can leave them in the comment and we will answer that. Sure. And of course, if you didn't check out yet Trade the Pool, so go to tradethepool.com. We have 14 days free trial. Trade our capital instead of risking yours, simply as that.
That's the way to go.
No doubt.
I wish I knew that.
Take it from Alexander. All righty, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully the first check will arrive soon.
I'm looking forward to that.
Sounds good. Take care. Bye, guys.
Thank you.